more than ever, I feel like social media has made it easier for us to compare ourselves to everyone else. It kind of gives us this picture into everyone's world. And so I find, with statistics and as I go and talk to people, people are struggling with their money, but we don't see that side of the picture. It's just very dangerous because what ends up happening is that comparison not only steals our joy, but it steals our paychecks as well because we end up spending, god awful amounts of money to keep up a lifestyle that we think everyone else is living, but we're missing out on. That's not reality. That's not the entire picture. That's what people have to focus on because if you try to make your life as great as someone else's on social media, it's never going to happen. Comparison is a battle no one's ever going to win, and it's true. And so we have to remove ourselves from that perspective to say, hey, I want to focus on my life, put the blinders on and say, what's best for me and my family? What are things we want to do? What are things we value? And how do we use our money as a tool to get us there? To be able to be content in life, you're going to be able to win financially so much faster than when you're discontent. And so finding that contentment is kind of your level playing field. And you're never going to be content if you're comparing your life to someone else's constantly. So I say, the action point on that is gratitude. And that word embodies so much. But I have found in my own life that when I'm grateful and my heart is filled with gratitude, there is no room for discontentment and comparison. And so start there and just be like, you know what, I started a gratitude list on my phone. And so every morning I try to type down just 2 things I'm grateful for. And it's such a good exercise for me to really start, my day and really my perspective on this idea of, okay, hey, I'm great. Here's all the things I'm grateful for. I'm going to start there. Make a plan for your money. You have to be the one controlling your money, not your money controlling you. And so a plan for your money, really a budget is what that is. We can call that the B word because no one likes that word, right. But it is. It's a tool to help you get through the month, to be able to make sure all your necessities are covered and to plan out, hey, here's what I want to do for fun. But you're doing it with a plan, which sounds boring, but really what it does is a budget, it doesn't limit your freedom. A budget gives you freedom. A budget really gives you permission to spend. And so putting that habit in your life really will jumpstart you, I believe, to gaining control back with your money. When you're in debt and the bank is basically controlling your life financially speaking, car loans, credit cards, student loans, it's just this constant, the lender is there. You don't have many options in life. And so when you don't have choices, you don't have options, anything that seems gratifying or satisfying in the moment, you gravitate towards. And it's like, oh my gosh, I want that new TV or I want that. You find yourself a little bit more under the desperation column, I would say, because financially you are when you're living paycheck to paycheck because of debt. And so when debt's freed up and suddenly you don't owe anyone anything, you suddenly become less impressed with everyone else around you in a sense. And because you have the option, you have money piled up in the bank and you can say, I don't really need that. You're able to make choices and make decisions more with clarity versus being all fogged by the stress and the burden really of debt. Steer clear of debt. And what does that look like practically in your life when you don't use debts in your life? How are you able to take vacations? How are you able to, I hear so many people say, well, how can I, grocery shop and buy organic, but still do it on a budget? Basically meaning like, how do I live my life still? And how do I do these things? Because so many people depend on the avenue of debt to get them what they want right when they want it. And so what does it look like to not have that in your life? Not only to get out of debt, but to continue to live a debt-free life. And so the huge element of this. There's another habit that I talk about that says talk about money even when it's hard. And money is interesting within our relationships. And when you and your spouse can get on the same page about money, it changes so much. The unity in your marriage is strengthened. Your hopes and your fears and your dreams are all come into alignment together as a couple. And this whole conversation with money around, spouses, but even parents to their kids, even I've seen and talked to more adult children talking to their parents about money because their parents, they don't have a will. They don't have these things in place. And so what do those conversations look like? And so really the relationship aspect of money is a habit that we all need to form. And it's hard. Sometimes it's awkward. I mean, being able to make this a habit in your life and your marriage just is so healthy. And so walking through that is key. It's never too early and it's never too late. No matter where you are today, no matter where you're starting on the financial spectrum, whether you're deeply in debt or even if you're out of debt and you have, $1 million in retirement, wherever you are on the spectrum, you can still do better with money day in and day out starting today. And I look back on my story, and my parents filed for bankruptcy the year I was born. And so if they can come out of it and raise a family that is out of that tradition of debt and have changed their family tree, anyone can. So don't let your past mistakes hinder your future. You have to start today. But that's the thing, is it's going to be hard. It's going to be challenging. Creating good money habits in your life, it's going to take some time and it's going to take some pain, but pushing through, being consistent on the other side of all of this, it is so worth it, because money will not control you any longer. You will control your money, and you will have the power to be able to say, you know what, these are the decisions I want to make, and you're going to be able to do them. And so again, no matter where you are on the edge of bankruptcy or all the way up, if you feel like you've gotten your life under control, just know that every day, day in and day out, you can make a difference in your life, and you can make different money choices to help you get to where you want to go.
If you enjoy this podcast, please make sure to subscribe. And to stay updated on everything that the Action Catalyst is up to, make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Action Catalyst Podcast, and on Twitter at Catalyst_Action. And thanks for listening.